All information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not consider your individual circumstances. You should consider the appropriateness of this information with regards to your individual objectives, financial situation, and needs. Welcome to Sharing More Than the Sheets, a podcast to help you and your partner make better financial and lifestyle decisions so that you can both focus on the things that you love. I'm your host, Michael Khouri, financial planner, green thumb, husband, and just dad. Most people have a lot of goals that they want to work towards. These goals could be financial, they could be personal, they could be health. And if there's anything I've learned as an advisor or even as a business owner, is once you prioritize your goals, a lot more gets done. And you're going to achieve a lot more, for example, having a smaller set of to-do list items at the start of a day compared to if you had hundreds of items at the start of the day. You're just going to be a lot more efficient. And I really wanted to talk about that today because at this time of the year, you're probably thinking, okay, let's work on some goals. Things are starting. I've got some resolutions. I've got things I want to work on. And I can tell you now, the simplest way to do it is going to be to prioritize your goals. Now, the benefit of prioritizing your goals is that you're able to focus your time and energy, and all of us have limited time and limited energy on what truly matters. And it prevents you from getting overwhelmed, and it increases the likelihood of success. In a lot of cases, it'll actually reduce your stress, and it'll boost your productivity because you know what you're working towards and you've got like a long-term vision. And you know, okay, I'm going to focus my energy, my limited energy and time on this, and then it's this, and then this, and this, and this. It just helps you focus a lot better. The other thing as well is the whole idea of feeling overwhelmed. Now, it's like anything. Even if you've got one big goal to achieve, if you break it up into small pieces, you're a lot less likely to get overwhelmed. You're also less likely to fall off track because you can easily monitor where you're at next. What should I be working on next? Some of us struggle with focus. I'm one of those people. Like for me, I need to just really make sure I'm not being distracted too much when I'm working on a particular task. Some of us are better at it than others. But either way, it's really important to understand your priorities so that you can focus a lot better on what really matters the most. As an example, when I'm talking to a client, we talk about different things like cash flow. We talk about some holidays they want to go on. Maybe they want to save up for some, for the children's high school education or some renovations or a car, or they want to buy another property or they want to buy a property and they want to focus on retirement and they want to set up insurance and they want to work on so many different things. And with limited, not just time and energy, but with limited money, which obviously we all have. Nobody has unlimited money. I mean, some people in the world may, but with limited money, you need to also focus your money on certain goals, on prioritizing them. Okay, what's most important? What am I going to prioritize? And that's where you need to have a bit of a trade-off discussion with yourself, with your partner, with your advisor, just to work out, okay, of all of these goals, which one are we going to prioritize first? I get they're all important. We want to, in a perfect world, we'd achieve everything, but what's the most important thing to us right now? And what's going to be important to us in the future? As an example, sometimes I'll talk to a client about their retirement, and we'll also discuss a holiday they want to take, and maybe they want to set up some life insurance, or they want to pay off debt, or they want to do some renovations, or gift their children some money, or their grandchildren some money. But when we actually work it all through, in a lot of cases, focusing on their retirement is first priority. It's like, no, look, it'd be nice to do these other things, but to us right now, we want to make sure that in 10 years we can retire. The other thing as well is being productive. When you're focusing your energy on one particular thing or 4 particular things or 6 particular things, you're going to be a lot more productive. You're going to get a lot more done than if you're focusing that energy on 15 different things or 20 different things. For example, let's say somebody has a surplus in their budget of $1,000 a month. Putting $1,000 a month into a particular account to save up for a $10,000 holiday will mean that they'll have that holiday in 10 months. Compared to if they're focusing on saving up $10,000 for a holiday, $30,000 for a car, $40,000 for renovations, and they're putting a little bit into each of those accounts, it's going to take a lot longer to achieve even one of those goals because a lot less energy, or money in this case, is going into each goal compared to just knocking each one down one by one. Now, there's nothing wrong with focusing on more than one thing at a time, don't get me wrong, but that's where it's important to have a strategy and to understand this priority. Sometimes 2 or 3 things could be just as important as each other. The other thing I've noticed is that when you are prioritizing your goals, you're a lot better at making decisions because you choose to focus your energy on tasks that align more with your broader vision and your values and what you're actually trying, like really what the end goal is, where you want to be in 20 years. And if that end goal, for example, is to retire in 20 years from now, let's say 10 years from now, and you're looking at your goals on a piece of paper and you've got, okay, yes, retire, but there's also buy a car, renovate, go on a massive $30,000 Europe trip. Once you've prioritized your goals, you then look at these things and think, okay, it'd be really nice to go on that $30,000 Europe trip, but for us, our end goal is in 10 years to stop working. And if you are able to prioritize your goals and get proper advice and make informed decisions, you might work out that spending $30,000 on that Europe trip is going to mean that you can't retire in 10 years. And that prioritizing of goals will help you think, okay, well, let's put this to the side. Now, don't get me wrong. I need to make it really clear that it's not just all about money. It's not just about the end goal. You need to also enjoy life now, today. And that's where it's important to have a balance. And I've talked many times about having a balance. And I talk about this for a few reasons, because you can't just focus on the future. You need to also enjoy the present. And because if you don't, you or your partner will get over it, will get distracted, will not be motivated. And also, let's be honest, we don't know if we're all going to be around in 10 years' time from now. So it's really important to have a balance between the present and the future. But at the same time, understand the big picture and what is the broader vision and what are you working towards. Lastly, I'd probably say that when you've prioritized your goals, you've got a clearer path to success. You know, okay, this is what we need to do. These are the things I should be ignoring. These are the things I should be focusing on. It's like somebody, if they have personal aspirations, they understand, okay, these are the people I should be hanging around. This is this type of friendship circle I should have. And these are the type of people I should be limiting my time with, and maybe not spending as much time or energy on these people because of whatever reason it may be. Maybe that they could be negative people, or they could be people that don't support you. They could be people that are going to hinder what you're trying to achieve instead of aid it and support you and help you. So that's just an example that comes to mind, but it's understanding your path, what you're working towards, and what you should be focusing on, and things you should be avoiding, because obstacles will happen. Things are going to pop up, and for me, I'm coming at this from a financial perspective as an advisor, because I talk to people about these things all the time. I'm coming at it from a personal point of view, and even health. Let's say someone's goal was to lose 20 kilos in 12 months. Is eating certain types of food going to hinder you, or is it going to support you from doing that? Is doing types of activities going to hinder you or support you? These are the types of questions. These are the things I'm talking about. And you'll only really be able to see these things and understand it if you are prioritizing your goals, knowing your priorities, knowing what's important. Why is it important? Now, the question is, how do we do this? The first step would be to list all your goals out. List them all out. Write it all down, whether it's something you really want to do, something you may want to do in the future. Write it all out. It's really important to get it out on paper, in writing. The second thing is assess them from importance, from a level of importance. So what's urgent? What's not urgent? What are the things that really need to happen now? What are the things that it's okay if they don't happen? And that could be it could be time related. It could be something that needs to happen within the next 3 months, or it could be something that just is urgent in general. The other thing is work out which of these tasks then are high impact. So 20% of them are going to deliver 80% of the results. And it's important to understand which ones are going to have the biggest impact on my life and in my family's life, and which are the ones I should be focusing on the most. From there, you then need to look at your work process and what you're doing and how you're prioritizing your time. I love to-do lists. I love using calendars, but just understand, okay, how am I going to achieve these goals? What is it going to mean? Will it mean that I need to assign 2 hours every day for this? Or I need to assign $200 a week for this? Or, as you can tell, I'm trying to come at this from both sides, not just financial. And then from there, just be realistic and work out, okay, am I being realistic? And is this actually what I'm trying? Is this achievable? And that, a lot of this comes down to looking at it yourself, but even talking to someone from an outsider's perspective, whether it's an advisor or a friend or your partner, and just get someone else's thoughts on it, because we make a lot of decisions based off emotion. And it's important to be realistic, but also, you probably saw this coming, is to have accountability, have some sort of accountability. Whether it's from an outsider's, from an external source, being a financial advisor or a coach, or a friend, whether it's from an internal source, which is a partner or a family member or someone that you're really close with or someone that you work with every single day. Or it could be just holding yourself accountable, setting certain goals and dates, putting dates down when you're going to do certain things and coming back to that regularly to see if it's going to happen. So again, I thought this topic is the perfect topic to talk about. Just prioritizing your goals, understanding your priorities, knowing what you should be focusing on, because if you do that really well, you'll be able to do better, be better, and feel better. Thanks for joining us on Sharing More Than the Sheets. Please make sure you subscribe to be updated with future episode releases, and feel free to share this episode with any friends or family that you think it might benefit. Please visit us at sharingmorethanthesheets.com.au to submit questions or requests for future podcast topics. These podcasts have been brought to you by Better Financial Planning Australia. To book a 15-minute phone chat, visit betterfinancialplanning.com.au.